Welcome to Anarchist Jurisdiction. Zach Burns, Terry Holloman. I'm broadcasting from my bunker in Portland. Terry Holloman, the T-Holla, is from Seattle, and we're both in equally dangerous zones. Although I feel like things are going to simmer down starting today, Terry, because there's been some new lockdowns reinstated.
Yeah, it's been a couple days in the making up here.
Yeah,
we've been locked down since midnight, Monday night.
Since Monday night. So Jay Inslee, governor of Washington, who, by the way, did it on a Sunday morning when everybody else is trying to focus on the Seattle Seahawks, but threw in some bad news before some worse news after the Seahawks performance. It's pretty much, I think, very, very similar to early April, where you can't go into places as much at all. Yeah. A lot of takeout, a lot of just avoiding contact with other people.
That's where we're at with it.
That's what we're dealing with here. And to distract from that for a second, Terry, you might notice in the background a little bit. I don't know how much you can hear it. I have a Christmas playlist softly playing, a Spotify Christmas playlist. And you know what just came on? What used to be controversial, Baby, It's Cold Outside.
It still is controversial, ain't it?
It is, but these are the kind of controversies that we used to really focus on, and I miss that. It should be controversial. Actually, it shouldn't be played anymore. Melody-wise, it's just a garbage song. But it's been really poured over the past 3 or 4 years because it seems like it's a man just full on pressuring a woman to have sex, and then beyond that, getting her drunk enough that she does not have her best decision making skills at hand. Like, there literally is a lyric, "Say what's in this drink." And if the only reason a girl wants to stay is that it's colder outside your house than inside your house, like, probably just let her leave. I kind of miss those sort of controversies.
I'm still on the fence about Baby It's Cold Outside. Man. He just wanted to spread some Christmas cheer. He just wanted to spread some Christmas cheer, make sure that she was okay, wasn't subjecting herself unnecessarily to the mercy of the elements. And he was just being a gentleman. He's like, listen, baby, it's cold outside.
But here's what I wonder, Terry. The minute she left, right? Which in the song, it's kind of left. I'm assuming she probably stayed because it was written in like 1955. So where's she going to go? You know, she's not driving. But let's say that let's say that she did leave. The minute she's outside, rejected his advances, do you really think he gives a fuck anymore if she's cold? Or if she's like, yeah.
No, he tried his best. Zach.
Be cold.
He gave his best effort.
Yeah.
When people choose to do things that are against their best interest, like go out in the cold and brave the elements, you're on your own. I've tried. I've given you 3 minutes and 57 seconds worth of song to convince you to stay inside.
Maybe that song needs a sequel where it's like, baby, we're married now.
Baby, we got 4 kids right now. I wish I had something to eat right now. Never cook shit. Well, why don't you go to the grocery store? That's why you're fat, just like your mom. I just made the remix from the spot.
Oh my God, I would love just like a decade-long story of that couple. Like, I wish you'd left.
Oh man.
Way to start off the show. What's the sad thing is that this year probably we're not going to have the controversy about Christmas being canceled, the war against Christmas, just because there's much bigger things happening. But that was always one of my favorite controversies of the year. Like you would hear about some middle school in Indiana that decided not to put up a Christmas tree this year because it shouldn't be the responsibility of the middle school in Indiana to put up a Christmas tree anywhere. And then Judge Janine or Sarah Palin, remember Sarah Palin? She's doing all right, I imagine. Just being like, see, this is what the liberals want. They want to take the Christ out of Christmas.
Take away your Christmas.
Because you remember in the Bible, the Christmas tree is mentioned 0 times. Like that was always my favorite. It's all these pagan symbols that like Christians were upset about being eliminated. Right. And then I've known people that are like, I don't care how anybody feels. I'm saying Merry Christmas, which had the same tonality as like, fuck you, Christmas. Like there's no joy being like expressing that sentiment. They're just saying it out of this. Yeah. And I've said Merry Christmas to 6,000 people in my entire life, which is a lot.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. Yeah. And never has anyone ever been like, whoa. Let's not force your belief system on me. I don't know. I miss those fake Obama tan suit, mustard on a hamburger type controversies that we said.
On a hamburger?
Yeah.
So un-American. Those trivial disputes we used to have about absolutely nothing, and they seem so trivial right now. I mean, it's so like right now we're really about to shut down Thanksgiving for real. Like,
it's shut down.
Like that's not a joke. It's shut down. It's done. What are you gonna do? I mean,
and so is Christmas. Let's face it. So is Christmas.
Christmas is probably done,
and that's the new war on Christmas. It's being fought by an unseen virus instead of Sarah Lawrence undergrads. But Christmas is going to be the same sort of situation. I think that Thanksgiving is. But let's throw in a little bit of good news here, which is unusual for the show. Pfizer seems to have had quite a breakthrough with this vaccine that they're working on, 94.5%. And that includes a plus 90% ratio on elderly patients who are going to need it the most.
Yeah.
So that's great.
That's good news. I mean, that's good news for the future.
For the future, but future good news is great. I'll take that. Just knowing that there's good news coming down the pipeline, I'll cling to that. Yeah.
It is. We all need something to cling to, and I do think that is a nice shining light at the end of the tunnel. I'm trying my best not to be pessimistic right here, but I want to temper people's expectations. I guess I mean, there's some people that are like, "Oh, hallelujah, we have the panacea. We're going to be all good now." But there's still some steps that are going to have to take place, and we probably won't be getting a rollout of this until spring.
Probably April.
Spring.
Yeah, and people like you and I, incredibly muscular and physically fit people, won't be getting it right away. It'll be the elderly, the slovenly, the ugly.
Not on that list.
We might not see it until July when all the attractive
2022. Oh man, no, yeah, I mean, it was welcome news, good news, great news. In the midst of a sea of terribleness, I was actually super glad to hear that.
Yeah,
but there, of course, there's always people that have conspiracy theories linked to all of these things, as in this whole thing was a deep state, plan. We weren't going to announce this cure, this vaccine, until after the election, and that was planned by the deep state.
Of course. Yeah, the deep state. The deep state, which only apparently organized. Do we really need to address the deep state thing? Because if there is a deep state, it's a terrible.
It's the worst deep state in history.
Conspiratorial organization. It's bad. Yeah. It's like the deep state, probably very football reference, but maybe they're the same group of people who have organized the New York Jets first round draft picks for the last 20 years. Like that bad.
Colossally bad. Hey, listen, let's come up with this great idea. The secret cabal of ours. We're going to put in this conspiracy that's going to reach around the nation to not get our people elected. They'll never see it coming.
Right. We're
gonna try to get the president elected, and get all the senators not elected.
Yeah. And then certain House races and 2 or 3 state legislatures. We're not. I always think back to this. The government is not particularly good at keeping secrets. They would not be. I love giving out secrets. It's great. There's like 4 people, you included, Terry. So keep telling me secrets that I will keep their secrets. But for the most part, I'll promise to keep secrets and then immediately tell somebody else because it's fun.
You can't tell nobody else though.
No, exactly right. Yeah. No, but now this is really, I know I already violated one trust, but you can't violate this trust. But I always think back to Watergate. Watergate should have never been, and if you don't know what Watergate is, then
Google.
What am I going to do?
Probably watch the wrong show.
But that should have never been discovered. This was pre-internet. This was pre, any sort of giving anybody any sort of the ability to whistleblow anonymously. And yet it was discovered, and it was such a minor infraction when you think about it. It just led to the cover-up was bigger than the actual initial crime. And they weren't even able to keep that secret. The Vietnam War stuff that they lied about came out. And again, like without any sort of access. So if someone was truly deep state right now, like there's no way you could do it by yourself. And there's somebody who would absolutely run to the nearest publication that would pay them some cash to talk about it. Like if I were in the deep state right now, I'd be totally talking to Breitbart or Breitbart.
Bro, you can give me $100 and a gift certificate to Applebee's. I'm telling you.
And now we're negotiating. You and I are negotiating with each other. I'd be like, Holloman wants 100 cash. I'll just take the gift certificate.
I'm telling you, man, Applebee's, Red Lobster, a Supreme Feast, all you can eat shrimp. I'm telling. Listen, they made me fill these ballots out. I don't know whose name was on it. I just stuffed the ballot in there.
Right. Yeah. That's all I did. I burned 10,000 ballots. And I don't know what they had in common, but they sure seem to say Trump a lot.
They had. I saw a T on there, and I just put it on fire. Never mind those people back there that've been watching me for the last 47 hours.
Yeah.
In this room, and
they were all in on it too.
TV and these guards outside there.
So we still don't have a fully accredited president-elect, which is fine. That seems fine. That just seems, I'm used to this sort of news. It's fine.
Before you leave that, Zach, I gotta tell you, it's funny that you laugh at that because it kind of is. Like it's
fine.
We're at the point where it's like just par for the course. Yeah. But like if you go back in time in history through the 44 other presidents that have taken control of this country. If this would have happened at any juncture along the way, this would have been like insurmountable. Like, oh my God, like the country has to shut down because Jimmy Carter won't turn the reins over to Ronald Reagan.
Right.
Like, we got to shut it down.
Well, there would have been, and maybe this is just because I watched Hamilton a bunch of times. There would have been a duel, and maybe that's where we should be. Not necessarily with guns, maybe with like 5 irons. I don't know if Joe Biden golfs, but I know Donald Trump golfs poorly. So I would still bet on Biden. There needs to be some sort of physical
sparring match
fight between them. And then, the man who stands longest wins, who doesn't falter to the other one's attack. They're the new president.
The hot dog eating contest, possibly.
Yeah. Hamburgers. Remember when he spelled hamburgers? Yeah.
Burgers. We're in a weird point in time in history, man, where some of the things that probably in the past would have really shut us down, where we would have never believed it, is just like it's Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for like dinosaurs to come back and then not fucking care. It's weird. There's a T-Rex now. They're back. Whatever.
There's that.
How's the Dow doing? It's just who cares?
It's up again. Hey, I don't know why it's up. There's
dinosaurs were the Fortune 500 they're inspired by the return of dinosaurs. So yeah, I'm cool.
Love the fact that T-Rexes are back. And people have no jobs.
No, they don't. But maybe dinosaurs will spur some sort of new economy. Yeah.
Jurassic Park's popping up all over the place.
Right, exactly. And then, probably slate.com or something will be like, well, the dinosaurs aren't eating a lot of people, but it seems like they're targeting people of color. And then we'll have this weird new set of protests.
And guess what? And nobody would give a damn. They'd be like, oh, yeah? Why can't we go outside with the T-Rexes? They're not eating white people. We're not. They haven't acquired a taste for us.
Right. But none of this, as crazy as it sounds, I don't know what I'd be shocked by now. Or even like not shocked. Like obviously I'd be shocked if dinosaurs came back. Not shocked, even excited. Because finally 6th grade me can just start spouting dinosaur facts again. I don't know if you had a dinosaur phase, Terry, but I definitely did.
A little bit.
Like every fucking book report.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, oh, well, we were reading of Mice and Men, and then this report's about Brontosaurus, so I don't know what one has to do with the other. And it'd be like, just wait a minute. But yeah, in terms of like actually thinking that, oh, well, this is a story that's actually gonna just shake me to my core. I don't know what it would be. I don't know what other weird, sad, depressing, uplifting, democracy ruining stories I could possibly absorb and then still think like, all right, well, you gotta stop focusing on just enjoying Christmas.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm honestly like it's weird because some days I wake up and I'm like something like I want that feeling. I'm looking for that feeling of like something exciting, something that would shock my senses. Yeah. Something to be like, I can't believe this, but it never comes. Like everything that comes is like I kind of expected that. Yeah. I mean, I'm absolutely not shocked at all by that.
No, and I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed too, Terry, by the people who are still writing think pieces that they are shocked by this, especially when it comes to like campaign finance laws and shit. Like, oh, this senator totally asked for funds while standing in a federal building. No one cares about that shit. That doesn't matter.
No one cares.
No one ever really cared because it's very complicated. But definitely no one cares about that. The one thing that I am surprised about is that I still do feel this sort of, I don't know what it is, like holiday spirit coming on. Really? And yeah, I do. Like, again,
I know you're the Christmas guy. You're more Christmassy than I am.
It's playing quiet enough that I hope we don't have to file any sort of copyright claims while playing the songs. But I'm listening to some Christmas music, and it's doing the job. It is, other than Baby It's Cold Outside. Yeah, like Andy Williams. And it's the insane thing about Christmas music is that they're mostly lyrics written for like 5-year-olds, like Santa's on the roof tonight. Then I'm like, I'm 40, and that's why is that still fucking working for me? But it's artists you never even grew up listening to. You only listen to at Christmas time. No one listens to Andy Williams that's alive. And if you are, your spouse is dead. Like one of you isn't around. But yeah, from like November 1st to December, I usually cut it off like December 27th. I can't get it
all the way through.
Yeah, I like to have it. I don't like to cut it off. I used to just cut it off right at midnight. I remember this was like the saddest Christmas moment in a weird way. There was this station in Philly when I spent a Christmas there. And at 7 p.m. on Christmas night, they broke Christmas format and went right back to like regular music. And I'm like, oh, you fuckers, you called Christmas early by 5 hours. Yeah. So, but then I would extend it till midnight because I always stay up till midnight on Christmas, and then I just kind of like for it to taper off a little bit. It still feels sort of Christmassy until, you know, New Year's Eve, and then January 1st comes, and you know.
Yeah, when I finally kick it in, I like to go all the way through to the end of December.
Yeah,
I like to go all the way through to New Year's. You know, like I said, I don't know why I hadn't started yet. I tried one day when I was in the car to find some Christmas songs. They weren't on, and so I don't know, I gave up and went right back to the Death and Despair on talk radio.
Oh yeah.
But right before the show started, my wife just started pulling out all the Christmas stuff. You can see some of it back there.
I can. I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
So that seems like that's like the collected. Do I see some nutcrackers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nutcrackers, Santa Clauses, the whole nine. That's just the staging station for now.
That's what I was guessing. Yeah. They don't just all. Can I get a closer look at those nutcrackers?
Yeah, man. Sure.
Okay. So one thing you don't know about me is that never my choice, but I have an extensive collection of nutcrackers.
Really?
Not with me. It's in my house in New Jersey. So I had these kind of unofficial godparents named John and Marion.
Wait, where are my nutcrackers at? They're not here right now. I got a bunch of them though.
Yeah.
I do.
No, I believe you. Oh, you have quite. I'm digging everything you have. Yeah, I like it. Oh, look at that Santa. Anything move? Wow, that's Santa's beard.
I had a black moving Santa Claus. He used to dance a little bit.
Love that.
Oh, there. See, here's one over there.
Oh yeah. Does he dance?
I think he does. I don't know where the buttons are right now, though. Zach.
Sorry if you're just listening to this, but we're kind of you have a lot of stuff. I think your house is going to look quite magical in like a week, Terry.
Thanks, man. We got kids here, brother.
I know you got kids, but some people don't even bother when they have kids, which I think is wholly irresponsible.
Yeah, we every year after Thanksgiving, I don't know if you know about this phenomenon, Zach. Since we have come from a different generation, but are you hip to the Elf on the Shelf?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Very much. Yeah, I think that's Thanksgiving. That is a brilliant. Now I don't know who it still works for. You know, you
works at my house.
It works for people. So you have 4 kids.
Yep.
Some still believe in Santa because Santa's real, and you should.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. None believe in Jesus. I'm just kidding.
I'm about to say, I'm not answering that question.
But Elf on the Shelf is it's Santa's representative. You put it somewhere, and then they become sort of the way that Santa monitors their behavior. So at least while you have it out for 6 weeks about?
Well, the day after Thanksgiving, our elf shows up. And and our elf stays until Christmas Eve.
And you know you're getting good behavior for those 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh yeah, you on your best because he's like
it's brilliant.
He's gonna tell.
Exactly. That's genius. Yeah. No, I think that's such a smart thing. One, yes, it's great that it makes your kids behave better because they want to please Santa. But then it also has this representative Santa in the house at all times.
Well,
yeah. My dad used to go to great lengths. So this was I grew up in a small town in New Jersey, and we used to have these blowout. Now, this wasn't when I was like a partier. This was when I was a kid at adult parties. We used to have these blowout parties with seriously 150 people at our house on Christmas Eve. And it was just amazing. Like the whole town, everybody that was exclusive enough came by, and everyone brought fruit cake or that sort of thing, and then everyone would be quiet. And I don't know if you remember this, Terry, and hopefully this still happens. You would listen to Santa's Progress on the radio, where there would be updates oh, he was just spotted over Nova Scotia or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this is something my dad would do. We'd go to bed, and then he would get on the roof and stomp around some to make it sound like reindeer getting up there. Yeah, fun kid memories.
We so I don't know if I'm I'm spoiling it for you, but they have changed things a little bit now for kids. Mm-hmm. You don't get to turn on the radio and say, "Oh, Santa Claus is in New York now." Oh my goodness, kids are done. They actually have the Santa app.
Oh, okay.
It's from NORAD. NORAD tracks Santa now, and there's a real like a satellite and a map, and Santa's in like Peru now. Santa's in Belize, and like it really shows the sleigh. And kids just get on their phone and be like, "Oh, there's where Santa is." NORAD told me.
That's a satisfying evolution, though. I think that's still pretty cool.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but it's not the radio. You don't get to turn on the radio and hear that voice. But you have access to it on your handheld device now,
and it's still just as exciting, right? It's just Oh
yeah, they still get pumped up about it. They follow. They can't wait. Like I have it on everybody's phone.
I can't wait to see your house fully decorated. By the way, dude, now I'm psyched.
Yeah, it should be nice. My wife is really good with that, man. That's her thing.
Yeah,
she's the she does the whole nine, man. So she's
inside and out.
Was that
inside and out? Like outside as well?
Oh yeah. I gotta tell you a cool. I got cool stories, man. So cool story about that. And I just got the call this actually yesterday. So years and years and years ago, when we first started the barbershop show, it was a nighttime show, and I got a random call into the station one night. I took a call, and it was a guy that said he was just so excited because we were talking about the young girl who had just got killed at Marysville Pilchuck High School. There was actually a school shooting.
I remember
that. Kid came in and shot a bunch of people, and so we had discussed it on the show.
Yeah,
and it was really kind of an emotional show, and this, that, and the third. And guy called up and said, "Hey, I own a company. We do Christmas lights. And we would like to donate Christmas lights to like somebody that you think deserves it." And so we did a thing and we gave Christmas lights to a young girl's family who lived on the reservation who was killed. And so they do Christmas lights for that family every year since then. And they're going to do it for life.
That's great.
And so the guy also said, "I'm going to do your lights, T. Holla. Because of all the good stuff you've been doing in the community, I'm gonna do your lights for life." So I've had Christmas lights, dude, on the outside of my house done by this company for the last 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's great. I can't wait to see a picture of those.
That's Christmas spirit right there.
That is the epitome of Christmas spirit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember that shooting.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend Colleen went to that high school.
Oh yeah.
That was rough. And that's great that someone commits to something that long and doesn't let it sort of falter away.
Yeah, it was like, so literally it was like the next week that we were discussing it, and then we actually went up, Marcus Trufant and myself, and we went up to the people's home and we sat in there, we sat with the family. We actually went. She had a younger brother that was in elementary school, and we went to the kid's elementary school and picked him up from school in front of the whole school, and he was just so excited. And we brought him a bunch of Seahawks gear and some plaques and some gift certificates and gave him Christmas lights. And like literally, it's probably like the best thing, the coolest thing that has happened to me since I've been doing this media stuff, man. And it's like. Yeah, and I'm still, like, we met the whole family. I'm still friends with the whole family. Still keeping, contact, follow each other, social media, that type of deal.
That is the best part of this, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you get to have a couple of moments like that.
Yeah.
Like I know, like I come off as like a very cynical, sort of, over it type of personality, but there's been definitely moments. And the only reason that I continue to try to do this, where you truly do affect somebody else's life, and man, it sticks with you. It's a great mean, it's not a great feeling because it's like I did something. It's just that I had the opportunity to do something.
Yep. And that's it. You hit the nail on the head, man. And I knew, like, once I got started doing this stuff, and the reason that kept driving me and pushing me to keep doing it was things just like that, man. It was just like, you know, having the opportunity to have a voice and a platform to affect other people in a positive way. Was just, it meant more than anything to me, really. You know, it meant more than, you know, I would say more than a paycheck, but paychecks are nice too. But
yeah, it's tough to do without a paycheck, without a doubt. Yeah.
But you know, to have a voice and have a platform and to be able to affect change in people's lives, that's been important to me since forever. And so to have the ability to do that, man, it's awesome.
Yeah, I know in the past I've spoken out about addiction issues, and people have literally texted in and been like, I heard your story. I'd never realized this about myself, but I'm you and I need to go seek help. And it's like, it's great. And I still keep in contact with a lot of those people when it came to immigration issues, you know, being able to try to help as many people, keep as many people that they love here and not be deported or at least brought back. And again, it's not doing it. It's just having the ability to do it. That is a really, really, really great thing. And it's sad to me that a lot of broadcasters don't take advantage of that as much as they can. Because it's the reason that I think a lot of us get into this is that we want to connect with people. Radio and this, I think you start to form more of a, you know, this, people start to think that you're their buddy. You never meet them. You never know them. But you talk to them for hours every week and they become sort of this weird, you know, family almost. Yeah. And it's great. And I love it.
Yeah, I hear you. And, you know, I love doing it. I love talking to people. I love, you know, creating this dialogue and helping people to, you know, maybe get to some things, and maybe just think through some things. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe sometimes you didn't think about this a certain kind of way, and maybe now you give it a second thought, or maybe you can help me to think about things a different way, you know, just based on your feedback and your review. You know, this is what it's all about: growth and expansion, man.
Yeah, and jokes. I like jokes too. Yeah, always. You know, we gotta be joke adjacent too. That is one thing that I do miss, Harry, about radio, is that there's very few shows now that just like make me laugh.
I don't know any right now.
I don't know one. No,
I don't know any.
No, just joke. If not jokes, just close to jokes. Or at
least have a fun environment. Like, man, that sounds like a fun place. I want to be in the studio with those people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll give it to John and Tom on Cairo. They make me laugh. I haven't really listened to them lately because, you know,
John, he's just gone a little far right, ain't he?
Yeah, but he's a performer.
He's one of the best performers in Seattle, man.
He's very fun. So we're talking about this guy named John Curley, because we have listeners all over the globe. One in Mongolia, which I think was accidental, but I looked it up today. we had a viewer from Mongolia, which is like, wow, how? What sort of weird web searches were you doing that night? Yeah. But yeah, John Curley he's a often fired but now found, I think, a pretty steady success doing a weekend talk show here on one of the radio stations. And this is my funny story about him, Terry. And stop me if I've told you this, but he used to buy me McDonald's sandwiches. Do you know this story?
No.
So one day, he used to come in with, like, you know, a sausage McMuffin or whatever. And I was producing mornings. Yeah, I was producing mornings, and his show at that point. So I was there at like 2 a.m, and then he would show up around 7 or whatever, and he would come in with a sausage McMuffin or something like that. And then one day I joked to him, like, "Oh, what kind of dick are you? Why wouldn't you bring in something for everybody?" So he started bringing me sausage McMuffins every day, and for me, that's like a treat. I can't eat one 5 days a week. But then part of me also realized, like, oh my God, I think this is the first nice thing he's ever done for anybody. So I didn't want to like stop him from doing it, because he would come and like hand it to me almost like Ebenezer Scrooge buying a goose for the fucking Cratchit family. So I never had the heart to be like, I'd like one like twice a month, but every day is too much. And then here's,
I think that's what he was trying to do. He was proving the point.
But here's the great thing. And I know how much he made, significantly more than I did. Mm-hmm. At the end of the month, he sends me a goddamn invoice. So now I owe him like $140 because it's been like 25 sausage McMuffins.
Oh my God.
And he's like, you can just write me a check. And I remember I did. And then I, canceled the service at that point. And yeah, when he came up to me and he was just like, this is what you owe me. I'm like, oh, okay.
I can visualize that whole entire scene.
Entire thing. Yeah.
I can see it. For those of you that are not from Seattle or not familiar with John Curley, you have to understand, okay, not only does he have a wildly popular radio show, he was the host of a wildly popular television show for a long time. And not only is he probably, he is for sure the #1 auctioneer in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
Probably one of the top in the nation for sure. And he's doing hundreds of auctions per year.
Which people don't realize how great of a side gig that is.
Oh, it's killer.
If you can do it, and, auctions being for a charity or whatever, just getting everybody riled up and donating $300 more than they normally would. Jesus, you can bring in a substantial amount of cash for that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So so he's making, so he does that.
Why are we plugging John Curley?
No, because that's what I'm trying to get at for everyone to understand this. Yeah. So wildly entertaining radio, television, auctioneer, all kind of endorsements. Not only all of that, but he comes from an old money family. Mm-hmm. Estates on the East Coast.
Pretends he doesn't.
Somewhere in the Hamptons type family. Mm-hmm. And he hits my man with an invoice for sausage McMuffins.
For sausage McMuffins. That I thought I was being the kind one by taking them. Because here is his active, you do those things throughout the day where you feel good about them, whether it's buying someone a cup of coffee and this was his thing. And I feel like what I knew about him at the time, he had never done anything like John Curley has only ever thought about John Curley for sure. Were you
there when there was a controversy at the radio station about somebody eating people's lunches out of the refrigerator and they thought it was John Curley? It was like John Curley.
And this story isn't about him. It's about someone kind of like him. But have you ever heard the story about the guy who had to leave halfway through a show because his wife was throwing his clothes out onto the lawn because of things?
No, I did not.
It was not him.
I did not hear that one. Is it somebody that's still at the station?
Someone, yeah. I mean, his co-host isn't Tom, but it rhymes with Tom. Oh. Yeah. Also, it's Tom.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I think you and I kind of have the same sort of feelings about John Curley. He's too much fun to really be upset about, no matter how ridiculously far right he gets with. And I don't think he comes from a hateful place. He comes from a performance-based place, which maybe isn't still very acceptable to a lot of people. I tweeted the other day, and man, did I get some vicious? So my dad voted for Trump, Terry.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. But my thought, I've seen so many people saying anybody who votes for Trump, just write out of your life. And if you think that I'm writing my dad out of my life because he voted for Donald Trump, you're out of your mind. Like, that's just not going to happen. And man, did I get like really vicious replies to that, as if I were contributing to some sort of problem instead of, I don't know, maybe understanding that so did 71 million other people. And maybe that's our problem as Democrats, is that we just choose to write people off even as close as our fathers. Like if it had been someone that I worked with for 2 weeks at some shit job and he was like, yeah, I love Trump, I'd be like, well, you're fucking done with me then. That's different. It's my dad.
Right.
I'm not, he's helped me out more than any other person in the world other than, probably more than any other person in the world. So yeah, it's crazy to me that people seem that would be an appropriate course of action to just stop contacting him, because that's just not going to happen.
You know what's crazy is I kind of had an epiphany, like literally 5 minutes before this show started.
Yeah,
I'm being completely honest. So I was of the train of thought before that, if you voted for Donald Trump, you belong in the basket of deplorables. Mm-hmm. You were irredeemable. Like, because to me, everything that he stands for and that he stood for as a president went against my existence. Like every bit of it, including up until now, where they're trying to eradicate the votes of Black people in America, basically. So that's where I was with everything. And then literally 5 minutes before, I can't remember exactly what it was that made me think that way, but I was like, there's 71 million people in America that have this screwed up thinking. And this is what I've come to understand, is that what he was able to do was to build a coalition of so many different people who supported him for so many different reasons. Naturally, there are the white nationalists and the racists and that group of people who are going to support him, for sure, for their own reasons. Also, there are people who believe that he's better for them financially. Mm-hmm. He's going to, you are a small business owner. You're going to have tax benefits from his economic policies. If you feel like maybe there is a problem with immigration and you fall in a different basket, and you're pleased with the way he's tough on those things. And for some reason, they all have combined to be this 71 million group of people. Now, do I think that all of them are racist or white nationalists or want to see Mexicans stopped at the border and sent back to where they come from and separate parents from kids? I don't think that's necessarily the case anymore. I do know that's not a deal breaker for them, but it's just a coalition, I think, of people.
It's not a deal breaker for them. That's true.
Yeah.
No, and that's conversations that I continue to have with my dad, who I can't tell you how much I love. But we sort of broke it down issue by issue. And for him, I believe it's just, I think it's financial more than anything. At least I hope it is.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense to me. When you get to a certain age, or not even a certain age, the whole reason the Republican Party exists, they haven't been a party of ideas forever. They're just, hey, we'll put more money in your pocket while we drain the deficit or while we expand the deficit. And I get that. Like that's more money for you to go on vacations, to bail out your kids. So I understand all that. But beyond that, I don't think he's really on board with a lot of the other stuff. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay with me. It's that I'm not going to. He's gonna be the one guy. I'm gonna see him for Thanksgiving. It's just gonna be him and I. So I'm not gonna be here by myself, Terry. I know you were very worried.
Good to know.
Yeah. Everybody was very worried.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a sad day. Yeah. But now it's going to be he and I, and we're going to do whatever we do on Thanksgiving, which will be really fun. And I don't know what your strategy normally is when you are around somebody that you strongly disagree with, but at least for those couple of days, I'm not all that interested in addressing it even.
Yeah, there's no point. It's no point. Yeah. I'm in similar situation, not with my dad per se, but I have in-laws that are strong supporters.
Yeah.
Strong. Got the t-shirt, strong.
Support. That's bonkers to me. I mean, not like just to buy presidential garb that's weird. And this is on both sides type thing. Like it's just as a weird. Like if I had an Obama shirt, I'd be like, what was I doing? Why did I have it? Yeah.
I've been the same boat. Like I said, I told you that before. I thought Obama was a transformative figure in history.
Yeah.
History. I don't have the t-shirt.
His book sold 887,000 copies on his first day, by the way.
That's insane.
I
get it.
Most ever by the publisher. I can't remember. Is it Simon & Schuster, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
And then he's got a Spotify playlist to go along with it too. He does.
He's
I'm not even kidding.
He's not hurting for cash.
No.
He's not hurting for cash. But I mean that goes. He was a beloved president, and I think people right now, are looking for a lot of the opposite of what we've had over the past 4 years. We've had somebody that's been bombastic, sporadic, unintelligent. And I'm not saying anything that's not true. And to have that in your face all the time, every day for 4 years in a row. I think a lot of people are just exhausted of it, and they want something refreshing. They want something. Maybe again, one of the things. I really don't want to harp on it too much, but one of the things that bothered me about this administration that we've had for the past 4 years is that people were like, "Oh, he's a straight shooter. He's just like me," and this that. I don't want a leader that's just like me. I want somebody that's smarter than me.
He's not just like you. He grew up a billionaire.
Yeah.
And then is now a millionaire. So he squandered billions. He never was like you. That's what
not one day.
And also he despises you. Just so you know. If you're poor, he thinks you're a piece of shit.
A loser.
He does. A loser. And it's your fault. If you fought for this country, you're a loser. If you're a starting quarterback of a starting caliber and can't get a job because you did your patriotic duty, you're a loser. It's all that. But I just haven't said anything anti-Trump in quite a while, Terry, because I've been here by myself, and there's no one to say it to. And then everyone in Portland, who am I going to be like? Who am I going to start an argument with?
Yeah, I know, dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, we get it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's what I would like to see out of the new administration once it's fully certified. Nap time. Like if Biden is, if Biden's only working from 10A to 2P, perfect.
I'm good with that.
Let the man sleep the rest of the time. Everybody else just take care of what needs to be taken care of. Even if he announces it, like that would be, and then has. And Obama would have to help him with this on several different levels. Like if he created like a nap time national Spotify playlist, that's fine. Like if Biden sleeps 16 out of 24 hours a day, like a bat or a cat or my brother's boyfriend, then I would be totally great with that.
Just wake me up if some shit happens.
Right. Oh, Iran is doing some shit. Yeah, then Biden is up at 4:30 p.m. Otherwise, he's snoozing until Wheel of Fortune. And then he's just up. He's up to have some liver and onions. Everything's gonna be very old person, and I'm very happy with it. Yeah,
liver and onions, maybe some Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like it's weird. Again, I think we've talked about this in the past, but it's going to be weird for people who this is really like young people. This is their first experience, like following politics, following presidential politics.
Yeah.
And this is their first president that, in their adult life, they've actually had to pay attention to. That this is not normal. Like it's normal to not hear from the president of the United States every day. It's normal to not have that.
Yeah.
It was normal to not hear from them on a weekly basis. Like, I don't need to, like, as a normal citizen that's just going about his daily work, I don't need to know what's going on in the president's life.
If you hear from the president, something is going very well or something is going very badly. And then there should be like really no in between. That's the only time they really need to talk.
That's normal. That's been par for the course for the last 200 and almost 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't see that. That's the weird thing about the way life changes. Like, do we put that genie back in the bottle? Is it possible? Or are people going to be like, why come we don't hear from Joe Biden every?
Well, that's
every
why
day?
I hope. That's why I want Biden. Like, I'm actually like, I want Biden to be mediocre, which he is. I think as a president he'll be mediocre. I think as a man he's extraordinary. Yeah. I think his life story is just, man, you did some great things, or you overcame some really difficult things.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope he doesn't set out to be like this transformative president the way that Obama was, or the way that FDR was, or JFK even tried to be. But that would be fine with me. Let's just ride out 4 years. Not that much policy wise. You undo some of the dumb stuff, for sure. Some of the executive orders. Mm-hmm. But just do some moderate stuff that doesn't really ruffle any feathers. And then we can actually have, because I don't think he'd run again in 2024. He'd be 82 at that point. He might if he's the incumbent, but and then we can start having truly like transformative candidates possibly come in. That's when we're starting to talk about, the further to the left party that could introduce some new ideas like Medicare for all and stuff like that, and some of the student loan forgiveness that Biden is floating about. I think this next 4 years is like, here we have this figurehead that doesn't really piss anybody off. Like, nobody's upset looking at Joe Biden. Like, there's no visceral reaction to that. Unless, he kissed your wife's head.
He sniffed her hair.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a sniffer.
He's a sniffer for sure. But just like chill for a bit. And I know that most people think like, oh no, we're done waiting. But revolution does happen rather slowly. Like, even the Revolutionary War, which is named after revolution, took 7 years. So it's just like, let's completely eradicate the ridiculousness of this last 4 years. Quell all the people, like, because in 4 years, who's going to have a Trump-Pence flag or a Make America Great flag anymore? Like, you'll have it in your trunk full of memories at best, and then move on and try to actually get some meaningful stuff done. Because I think that there's going to be enough Republicans, at least starting in January, as the new administration comes in and the new senators come in and congressional members, that think that Trump is still a looming presence enough that we can push back Trumpian style. But if you just wait a little while, then I don't know. In 2024, we could really own this shit.
Yeah.
Like, we could get everything through, because we have proven 8 out of the 9 last elections now, the Democrats are the party of the people. Like, it's an overwhelming it's an overwhelming popular majority.
The popular vote has been won this time around. The electoral and the popular vote by a landslide. I think the American public has shown who's in the majority. The way we think and what we're looking for is
8 of the last 9. That's crazy.
Was that
8 of the last 9 elections?
8 of the last 9.
Popular vote.
And I mean, I think the writing's on the wall. And I think, honestly, that's probably why a lot of people are really hanging on as tight as they can, because they see the tide shifting. They see the tables kind of turning here, and they see the demographics of the country changing, and the attitudes of the country changing a little bit. So they're fighting. Like, when you're on your, if you're fighting for your life, you're going to give it all you got. You're going to call for the recount.
Right.
I'm going to pay $3 million to have Wisconsin votes recounted. I'm gonna go to the end of the world to make sure Detroit gets all their votes thrown out. I mean, that amongst other things that he probably doesn't want to go deal with the South District New York courts and the other people who are waiting for him once this is all over with.
Well, and just wait until the Democrats take over the Senate and the House, and all of a sudden Puerto Rico and DC can vote.
Yeah. Or
you're talking about like 2.5 million strongly Democratic votes who absolutely should have their vote counted. They pay taxes.
Yeah.
They are not represented whatsoever in Congress, which is, no taxation without representation. The constitutionalists, lying Republicans seem to cling to that, but don't when it comes to Puerto Ricans, because let's face it, their parades are terrifying.
I need to go to one before that's on my bucket list.
Oh my God, you should go to one.
I want to so badly.
It is I don't even know. There's nothing better. I hate parades. For the most part. Like St. Patty's Day parade, it's just cops like marching. The gay pride parade, it's fun, but like the Puerto Rican parade, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like it's sneaking down to Tijuana, like senior year of high school. Like, this is fun, but it's also like dangerous.
A little bit dangerous. I don't know if I should be here, but I love it.
Yeah. And then like, I clearly don't belong there.
I wonder if they think I'm Puerto Rican.
No, I could never pull off Puerto Rican. No.
Got to do it one day.
No, you should. The New York one. Can't miss it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've never been to New York. I got to go.
You've never been to New York City?
I've never been. Nope. Never been to New York at all.
Wow.
It's one thing I'm missing in my life, Zach. One day.
I feel like there should be some video montage of me showing you New York, like Statue of Liberty.
It's like the beginning of the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Exactly. Yeah. We're going to make it after all. Is that the song? Okay,
that's it.
That's
Laverne and Shirley.
Yes. Well, I think with Laverne and Shirley is Milwaukee.
We'll have to Google that.
We should. But yeah, oh my God, I'd love to show you New York in that. Because here's the great thing about New York, and I never would want to live there again, is that it is the center of the world.
Yeah.
So when you're there, you're like, okay, I get it. I get why these people are cocky about like living in New York, because this is where the world starts.
Yeah.
Like they do deserve to brag on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fashion, style, music, arts, you name it. That's
bagels. I don't know how much you like bagels, but they are better there. All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow night. Oh, let me add Terry back real quick.
You kicked me out.
I don't think I did. Did I really?
You asked me about bagels, then you kicked me out.
Yeah. How do you like bagels as a trick question?
That's one thing. So I kind of got into bagels as an adult. I didn't eat them as a child. I was neglected.
It's not really a child's food, is it?
No, I mean, my parents are from rural Arkansas. I mean, a bagel? What is a bagel?
What is the cuisine in rural Arkansas? Like,
if it's fried, that's it.
Yeah.
So literally, like fried fish, fried chicken.
Gizzard? Have you ever eaten a gizzard?
I'm not a fan of gizzards, but that is part of the cuisine.
Okay. What's bad about them?
They're chewy to me. Like it's like like I'm chewing somebody's throat. Like why would I subject myself to this?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've like probably literally only like one or two in my life.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, Arkansas is like it's one of the I think if you look up like healthiest states in the country, it's near the bottom. Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, once you get down there, everybody is horrendously. Mississippi, fortunately, has your back in terms of
they got us
way more obese. Yeah,
and it's right next door. So
yeah, real close. It's a shame that Alabama just didn't give you like a little sliver of coastline as Arkansans. What do you call them? Arkansans, yeah. Just so you at least like have a little beach within your state.
But yeah, no, we just landlocked piece of shit.
Yeah. All right, so we have a couple of returning guests tomorrow. If you're in,
what's up? Who that?
Amanda Knox is coming back.
Hey.
Christopher Robinson is coming back. Her hubby. And so they just released a new podcast on iHeartMedia, and it's called Labyrinths. It's pretty great if you haven't checked it out, especially the Andrew Yang episode. Super, super duper. What am I talking like? So yeah, they'll be back tomorrow if you want to come back on with us, Terry, because you are the holla. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. What's 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.? What do you think?
Whatever you call, man. I'm ready.
Yeah. So you don't have any puppy obedience classes tomorrow?
Everything's canceled, man.
Oh, that's back. Shut down. Oh my God.
How's everything is canceled?
Last quick thing. How's the puppy doing?
Puppy's good, man. Getting bigger literally by the day.
Has he picked a favorite?
Me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
And it's unfortunate because I was the last person on the list. You know, I was the last person to get coerced into having a dog. And I was the mean guy. I was like, well, if we get a dog, then I'm not touching it. You gotta clean up after it. You gotta do this. You gotta feed it. You gotta do all these things.
But it's always that one that ends up loving the dog the most, isn't it?
Oh man. I mean, so like I said, I was adamant about it. I'm not picking up after the dog. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
As it turns out, I'm the person who takes the dog to obedience class. I'm the guy that feeds the dog. I clean up the pee and poo. We all kind of get involved in it, but yeah. So here we are.
All right. I love it. All right. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. then.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
You, me, Amanda, Christopher, and then do you know Jose Moreno?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming on next Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. He's a good guy, but another person I've never talked to in person.
Wow. Okay.
Have you?
I've worked with him for a lot of years.
God damn, Terry. You're the connected one.
It ain't helping me, man. Man, look. I'm trying to figure out how to pay for Christmas 2020. I'm taking all donations, man.
Here, I'm sending the entire Holloman family a present.
Cash app. I'm taking it all.
Oh, should I just send cash? Would that be better?
Cash.
All right. Cash. All right, dude. I'll talk to you tomorrow then.
All right, Zach. All right, everybody. Hey, yo, click, subscribe, and share too.
That's right. Yes. And find us anywhere postcards. Jesus.
You got postcards.
I'm tired.
You can do postcards.
Podcasts are available. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Terry. See you. Bye.
All right, Zach.